We learned about landforms like mountains, plateaus, and plains, and specifically how they were formed. Today we're going to talk about topography, which is the shape of these different landforms and how to read them on a map. First, let's define some terms. When we talk about mountains and plateaus, we say they have high elevation, which means height of the land above sea level. Relief is the difference between different points of elevation. So now that we have different points of elevation, we draw contour lines, which connect the points of equal elevation. Now, as you'll see, not every contour line is labeled with an elevation, so the space between them is called a contour interval. Now, the problem is that these maps are showing us the bird's eye view, the top view of the different elevations. How do we read this map and see how it looks like from the side, which is the way we're used to looking at mountains? So we're going to convert this contour map into a profile. On the bottom, we have our distance graph, which shows us the distance from point A to B, and on the side we have elevation, how high each point is going to be, and then we'll connect them. Let's look at point A on the map. Point A is on the 400 feet contour lines, so we'll mark 400 feet for A, and B is on the 300 feet contour lines, so we'll mark 300 feet for B and connect the two. We see that the profile is a slope from A down towards B. This is a simple example of a profile. Now the gradient, or the slope of different elevations, is going to be shown on the contour map based on how far or close the contour lines are. For example, the space on the contour lines on line EB is going to be very wide apart, meaning that the elevation is going to change very gradually over this distance, which means it's going to be flatter. As opposed to the space between the contour lines on line AE is going to be very close together, meaning that the change in elevation is going to happen much quicker, making it steeper. And the final thing about contour maps are streams. Streams will form a V shape that point towards the origin of the stream. A quick way to remember this is imagine the V shapes as the mouth of a Pac-Man. Whichever way the Pac-Man is facing, that is the direction in which the stream is flowing. Also notice the elevations. We have 5,800 and 5,600. Water always flows from higher to lower elevation, so in this case it's going to be flowing down towards the bottom of the screen. Topographic maps show us local elevation, but how do we see the maps of the entire world? This map shows us the entire world, and it's going to look a little different. The first thing we do is split the world into different parts. First, we split the top and bottom into the northern and southern hemisphere. Then we split the two sides, making it the western and eastern hemisphere. The United States is located in the northwestern hemisphere. The north and south hemispheres are divided by the line called the equator, and the east and west is divided by the line prime meridian. And these two lines are going to be the basis of the other lines that help us map out the world. The first type of that line is called latitude, which is parallel to the equator, and it measures location from north and south, meaning that at the equator, the line is going to be 0, and as you go up, the number is going to increase to 90. A way to find latitude practically is using Polaris, which is called the North Star, so it's only going to work in the northern hemisphere. Simply, whatever angle Polaris has with the horizon is going to be your latitude. Yes, it's that simple. Angle of Polaris equals your latitude. And finally, we have longitude, which are the lines parallel to the prime meridian. They measure location from east to west. The prime meridian is 0, and as you go to the side, it's going to go up to 180, and the prime meridian is going to go from one pole down to the other pole. That's all you need to know for today. Please make sure to answer the questions in the form below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.